Hello, I'm Philip Stoten from EMSNow. I'm here at NEPCON Shanghai and I'm joined by Hamed on the WKK booth. Hamed, always a pleasure to see you.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for coming.
First thing, what are the latest trends? What's going on here in China right now? Challenging market, but exciting times.
We had a very, very difficult year last year. It was a slower year than we normally have. And we were expecting this year to be a little bit better. Q1 started out very slow. And it was really due to the fact that the world economy is still sluggish, still very slow. The US is slow, Europe is close to dead. Most people will tell you that. And so things have been very, very slow here. A few weeks ago I was here attending the CPCA show, and that was very, very slow. But to my big surprise, this show has turned out to be very, very good. If you can see the massive amounts of people who are here. So that's a very good positive sign. There are people who have a lot of need, just waiting for the economies to turn around.
Okay.
So we're hopeful. We're very excited.
What kind of demands are there, and have the demands changed? It seemed that originally demands were all about volume. Now we're hearing more about flexibility, perhaps automation, those kind of issues.
I think that you have a need for both. There is still the need for large volume because you still have the Apple iPhones that require high volume, and some of these other Samsung products require high volume in the mobile devices. But then you also have a need for flexibility. The reason for the flexibility is that a lot of these products that are coming out have a very short shelf life, and then something else comes out. And the consumer wants new things. Every time you introduce something new, they go and they change. So the life expectancy of a lot of these products is 6 months before something changes. I know that I have salespeople in my organization. Every 6 months they're walking around with a new device. So even in our own organizations, we see that a lot.
Yeah, and those demands on the line change. And also, there's not just one version of a particular device. There's some configuration on the line. There's some variability.
Lots of different devices. So right now, here behind us, we have the Yamaha line. We have very high speed. We have a lot of flexibility. So we're giving you, the consumer, both of what they need in terms of the factories.
Yeah, and my sense previously in Asia is the automation side, the lean side, if you like, has been kind of left to the Europeans and the Americans, where labor costs are higher. With pay rising here in Asia, are they starting to consider the lean principles and demand more automation around their machinery?
You're absolutely very right in hitting that point. I think that what's happening here in China and in Asia in general is a huge demand for automation. And in the past, you were right, they had humans could do it, could do the labor. But today that's changing. If you look at, say, one customer alone, he's looking at adding 300,000 robots to do a variety of types of jobs, from packing the boxes to identifying certain things, to testing, to picking up testers. There's a lot of huge demand. You had a lot of people doing hand soldering. Over in the corner, we have robots doing the soldering now. So, and then the soldering is more repetitive. It's always done the same. The temperatures are maintained. So there's a lot better quality when you do it that way. So I think that the demand for automation is going to continue to grow in this part of the world, and you will see it escalate, especially in view of the fact that the costs, the labor costs, continue to escalate as well. So the need and the demand is going to be high.
Yeah, and that's inevitable, and we're seeing robotic companies exhibit at this show, perhaps for the first time, companies like KUKA, and I hear ABB may well be in Shenzhen.
Fanuc has a very nice booth showing a lot of very active robots.
So lots going on there. Now earlier you mentioned mobile devices. Big enemy of the mobile devices is something we've had here this week, to my surprise, and that's rain. You've got some circuit boards in water, in alcohol, and all kinds of things here. What's that all about?
Okay, well, statistically, about 15 to 18% of mobile devices are dropped in water. And if anybody out there has had a mobile phone dropped in the toilet or dropped in the bathroom, you know what I'm talking about. So this is a really big problem. Not only do you have people dropping their phones in the water, but in areas of the world like China and like Asia, where you have high humidity in the summer, you have what is called creep corrosion. You have corrosion that gets into the phone through the humidity of your hands, and that starts to degrade the device, and the device can fail. So we represent a company called Semblent Technologies, which is an American company but part of a UK conglomerate, and they have developed a brand new technology for coating the phone. It's a sort of a conformal coat, but it protects very, very well. Now if you look over here, I have 3 circuit boards running, actually running, and you can see the LEDs lighting up. They've been in the phone, they've been in water, Mao-Tai, and alcohol for 2.5 days.
Right.
And we haven't stopped it. And this is to signify that you can put it in water and it's protected.
Yeah.
You can put it in a harsher environment, like something like a Mao-Tai. In the U.S., when we did this, we put it in a margarita. But here in Asia, they don't know margaritas here, so we put it in something that they do know, which is 56% proof Mao-Tai, very strong. Even standing here, you can smell it.
Yeah.
And then in alcohol, which is again a very harsh liquid. So it's to prove that the protection of the boards using this Semblent technology is very, very good and very effective. I think that from the second half of the year, you'll start to see this being used by a whole bunch of people.
It's an exciting technology, and certainly those kind of demands are gonna grow and grow. Just a general feeling for the China market and the remainder of this year. Where do you think it's going?
Well, we've had a very slow Q1.
Yeah.
And statistically, people tell you, and I saw this on Bloomberg yesterday, the tech sector is down by 30%, which is hard.
Yeah.
You know, this is not normal, but they said this is the lowest, this is the slowest it's been in 20 years.
Yeah.
So Q2, I expect to start to see some improvement. And then the second half of the year, I hope that it sees some improvements, a lot of improvement. Of course, I would like to say this all depends on the U.S. market and the European market. I don't expect the European market to turn around this year, but I do expect the U.S. market to start to improve a lot.
Okay. So the consumers are out there. They're going to manufacture.
Consumers want to buy stuff. But the U.S. economy is such that people are holding back their money. They don't want to. I mean, if you don't have a lot of money, you're not sure about your job, you're not going to be going out and investing.
Buy the 50-inch plasma TV. No. Hamad, always a pleasure to chat to you. Thanks very much for your time, and I hope we can talk again soon. Thank you.